Fighting left hand forward as a bayonet stance because I believe my backhand is my strongest. One of the big mistakes that spearmen make is they don't have a good idea in their head how to parry properly. Parrying with a spear is think about fencing with two hands. That's really what you're doing. You're fencing with two hands. You just have to turn the point of your opponent's spear. Now, with a couple rules, one, always bend your knees. Don't stand up because your ability to react is smaller, and you learned that in Duke Baldar class. Number two is, I want you to keep your arm out straight. When your arm is out straight, keep a little tension on it. Extend your arm, keep a little tension on it from the back hand. It's always ready to fly. Pretty much you just let loose that front hand, and it goes. What I don't want to see is this, okay? This is bad for several reasons. One is, you have less of a thrust. Your range is decreased. Number two is, you're making a spot for your opponent to hit, right here. Traps the spear right in there. If you see a lazy spearman like this, he's up on the line, this is the spot to go for. If the arm is straight, that spot is covered up. Even if you miss the parry a little bit, you can parry with your arm. All you have to do is turn it a couple inches. So, we have a couple attacks. Obviously the face is the favorite attack because it just has to be a touch, just a little bit of control. The front of the thigh, anything you can lock up on the thigh. The hip is fantastic. And also, of course, the spot we talked about right there. If he's standing flat, you're going to kill him anyway. Okay? A flat spearman is a dead spearman. Stand sideways, arm straight, arm back, head down. The other thing I hate to see is I hate to see spearmen do this. Gaston and I sponsor a spear tourney every year at Gulfport. Fully half of the people fight like this, looking through their helmet. That's not a good way to fight because you're cutting down your own vision, you're cutting down your capacity to be able to react. That being said, let's move into the meat of the spear fight. Now, spear is strong in static situations. It's strongest in static situations. Next strongest, it's in mobile situations. Now, in the days of yore before combat archery, which is an evil, horrible thing, spears used to rule the battlefield. And just like medieval fighting, just like ancient fighting, spear is all about being able to touch your opponent when you can't be touched. Okay? A knife is an extension of the arm instead of a fist. You have a little more range with a knife. A knife on the end of a stick is a very, very primitive weapon, and one all the way up to pikes, Swiss pikes, Macedonian sarissa. Whoever has the longer reach, whoever has the ability to reach out and touch somebody. Nuclear weapons are the ultimate expression of that, being able to touch someone from the other side of the planet. So we're not talking about the other side of the planet, but we are talking about 9-10 feet away. Now, spear on spear, if you come up on a line in a field battle, for example, it always comes down to you have your buds on either side of you, you're fighting another guy, another group of guys with buds on his side of him, you come up on spear on spear. Really, truly, the best you can hope to, if he's got good shieldmen on either side of him blocking out, is if you're really good, you might be able to pop his leg or pop his hand or something like that, but you're leaving yourself open. You're leaving yourself open to his counterattack, you're leaving yourself open to counterattack over here. So, the thing you want to do with a spearman in front of you is to foul his weapon and hit the guy over here. That's the extension. Make sure, okay, let's get him to thrust at you. You parry, thrust over here. Use your parry against the other guy. Use your parry against the other guy. Wait till this guy's over here lunging. The guy lunges over here for the guy next to you. You parry, pop him in. Account for the spear in front of you. That's the deadly spear. The spear over here is the one you got to keep on the corner of your eye. That's the one I get killed to. The spear kills you get on line combat are always going to be pretty much the ones they don't see. And with that in mind, there's a tactic that I've been trying to advocate for resurrection battles. Give me a line of like 4 people. Okay, resurrection battles invariably turn up to a line about this far apart. There's a no man's land right here, and people are dueling. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, and the archer comes up, maybe shoots. Their archer comes up and maybe shoots. The smart way, now the smart way to gain ground, let's say we want this ground because we want this flag in the middle here. The smart way to gain that ground is not to many pile up guys, charge forward, and we push you back a couple feet. You kill about half of us, we kill about half of the less of you. half of us walk back to resurrection, the lines stay the same. We haven't gained ground. The smart way to gain ground is you have your line here, you come in on the edge of the line, right here, he's looking over here at my line of shields, and you go blunk, 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 blunk. What happens? The three of these guys, this guy gets wise to what's happened because his buddies just appeared. What do? You back the hell up. Then your line here steps forward. You remained intact. Your line's made intact. You might die as a spearman. This guy might get wise and charge you or whatever. But you backed up the whole line and you haven't lost any troops. That's what I'm talking about as a spear tactic. We don't use it enough. We have a few brave souls who do it. But if we did that on a regular basis, if our spearmen did that on a regular basis, we would dominate every single resurrection battle. It would be, without a doubt, just a windfall. What happens is people come back into the line, they step back up to the line, here we go, we're just dueling. We're doing the same dumb thing the other guy's doing. So let's not be dumb, let's come in from the side. Because these are the kills you get. The kills I get with a spear are the kills they don't see. Boom. Oh, I'm standing in front of you, Jack. Oh, you didn't see me. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay? How many of us have been killed that way? You know, it happens all the time. It's not brute force on brute force. Fight smart, fight melee. Okay, let's go to another application of this, and we'll wrap it up because I know we're short on time. Another application, and I want you to remember this: it's always better to be the donut than the hole. Okay? That sounds. I just help you remember that. It's always better to be the donut than the hole. And there's very few real rules in SDA combat. In real medieval combat, it was all about morale. If you fought if you hang tough. If you talk about real medieval or ancient units, it's the sacred band, it's the Spartans, it's the Swiss pikemen, people who would never break from battle. Why was it bad to break from battle? Because if you broke from battle, you got cut down. Okay, the first guys that broke from battle probably got away. There's the problem. Okay, so if you're first to break from battle, you got away. If you broke from battle after half the guys are gone, you're going to get cut down like a dog. But we don't have that. We're all heroes. We fight to the last man. That's one of the reasons why our tactics have to be different. Our tactics have to take a different idea. We don't get to hit from behind, and we fight to the last man. With that in mind, there's only a couple concepts that SCA fighting comes down to. It's better to be the donut than the hole. And what that means is, if you have 4 guys or 5 guys right here, it's better to have 5 guys here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You guys are the hole, and we're the donut. You don't have room to move. We get to hit you from all sides. Okay? Now, any application where you get to be part of the donut against part of the hole, where a greater surface area, you get to bring more troops to bear against their smaller number of troops. It's called point superiority. You might have equal numbers on the battlefield, but if half their guys are tied up with a small unit or in a local hold or something like that, you're winning the battle. Now, a perfect example of better to be a donut than the hole is how you use a spear on a bridge. A lot of people make the mistake of thinking that you have a V on the bridge is the best way to go with a point man. Well, it sounds great, it sounds penetrative, it sounds very football oriented. The passive side on a bridge against spears is the side that wins. The charging side does not win. It's not about gaining ground, it's about gaining ground and keeping ground. The way you gain ground and keep ground is to kill the other side. So, as spearmen, the place we want to be on a bridge are the corners, okay? Because we want to pool Q in on the guys in the center. We have all this reach, pool Q on the guys in the center. The guy in the center is totally screwed. If he's out in front of his troops, he gets pool Q'd from right, center, and middle. And those are very easy ideas to do. Things to keep in mind is, where do I want to be as a spearman? Where am I going to be most effective? Am I going to be most effective on the right-hand corner? Am I going to be most effective on the left-hand corner? Gaston and I work really well together in a bridge because we have opposite hands. You know, we have opposite hands.